Hi, my name is Terry Sproul, and I want to welcome you to my studio. Tonight we are playing with the new High Flow Acrylics color from Golden. I really like these colors, I have to admit. I used them a few weeks ago on a show, so if you get a chance, watch that. But they're just so much fun to use, and you can't make the same thing twice, but they just make beautiful backgrounds. This is just a canvas I did. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might put something over it. I might leave it just the way it is, but look how pretty it is. Here's another one that I did that's also the high flows. And actually, everything except for this quote is the high flows. So even these dots over here are the high flows. And they're a lot of fun to work with. I have found them at Michael's. Also, Dick Blix has them. And I believe probably Hobby Lobby, but I'm not positive because I haven't been over there yet. So we only have one in San Diego, so I don't get to see it too often. Thanks, Maxine. Welcome. I don't get to get over there a whole lot to see what's going on. But a couple quick things going on right now. I know there is a design team call right now for the Robin's Nest. That's a scrapbooking company. You can find their information over at the chatteringRobins.blogspot.com. And also, I know that Sin City Stamps is going to be having a design team call also very soon. So watch out for those. Okay, I am going to switch cameras and show you the high flow chart and then get going. So hold on here as I switch cameras. Down the logo real quick so you don't pay attention to that. That was my blog down there, which is terrysproul.blogspot.com. Okay, this is the chart for the high flows that you can get and all the different colors that are available. There's about 60 some odd colors. I actually haven't counted them, but as you see, they're just beautiful colors, and the little check marks are the ones that I already own, so that's what the little check marks are for. And they come in transparent, which actually it says on the bottle. The black ones with the black band up there says transparent, and the other ones don't say transparent, like this one does not. It does have the black band, so I lied about that, sorry. The black band with little tiny white lettering. But they're both the same. And what they are is basically they're a acrylic, they're calling them acrylic color. They're not even calling them acrylic paint. Hi Danielle, welcome. Michelle and Maxine, and I believe who else is here? Please put your questions in caps. Heather, Mark, Vanessa, and Kina. Nice to meet you. Welcome. So they're actually calling them Golden High Flow Acrylic Colors. They're not even calling them acrylic paints. See that? So that's kind of interesting. And when you get them, also when you, I should say when you use them, you need to shake them. They have a little ball in there, so you need to get them moving. And they're very high intensity color that's extremely liquid. I mean, they are very watery. So I'm going to grab my journal, but again, you can do this same technique. Does not have to be in a journal. As you've seen, I did it on a canvas, so the same technique can be done on a canvas. Now when these also work in a lot of different ways that you can use them. You can use them in airbrush, you can use them in a pen, you can use them in markers. These are the brand new markers that have just come out, or straight out of the bottle. These are markers, and they have them in a couple different sizes that you can buy now, that you fill this reservoir up with paint. And you would have to almost, if you think about it, it would have to be a really high flowy paint for it to work in these anyways. If you had something thick, it just wouldn't come out as a marker. And then they have, you know, marker tips on them. And you can fill them in different ways. This one has a really fat tip on it. And I've also seen that you can get the tips replaced. So see, that's a really fat tip. And I was watching when I was at NABDA, the company, a lot of the companies were using these to paint on big canvases. It was really cool. And you can see it has a ball in there also, so you would mix. So I wanted to quickly show you that. Okay, when I use these, I always kind of work with them on a wet page. I'm checking for as many questions as I can. Please put your questions in. I love my black pen. It's very messy. So lay down your plastic first. That's a very good idea. Actually, I do have on my desk my Teflon sheet, and then on top of that, I actually have a paper towel, because this technique you get very, very wet. Share the link. Hi, Lee. Oh, link for the show. Thank you, Vanessa. Who makes the pens? The pens are made by, actually this one doesn't say the company of it, but I actually found it in Dick Blick's, and this one comes from Mototow, M-O-L-O-T-O-W. Now this company is out of Germany, but I bet you can find them also at Dick Blick's. I bet you they're not at Michael's yet. I wouldn't think that you'd find these at Michael's. Where can I get this? The large pen like this? I found this at Dick Blick's. Now also the high flows come in a kit, so if you don't have these yet, ask for the kit that comes with, I think it comes with 2 different sizes. And the only reason I haven't gotten the kit is because I already had like 3 of the colors that come in the kit. It comes with, I think, 5 colors and like 2 markers like this. So if I was going to buy them, that's how I would probably get them if I hadn't got them already. And I hope you do get them for your birthday. Okay, I am going to just get my page wet, because these are very high flow colors and they work really great with water. So I just quickly misted my page with some water. This page happens to be gessoed just because it was gessoed prior to me coming online. But honestly, you do not need to have gesso on your page. You can do this straight out of the book. And I water these down a lot, as you'll see. So once I get some color on there, I start getting them wet. And I'm going to keep going in with some more different colors. That first one I put on was fluorescent pink, and this one is a green. It's a green-blue shade. Oh, I bet you that's not open. Hold on. Oh, does it? Okay, so I did hear that Michael's does sell those markers. That's good. Sorry about that. See, I didn't even open this one yet. That's how brand new it is. I have 2 of them in here I should have opened. I didn't even think about it. And these flow together really nicely. Now I have to be careful because pink and green make brown, so I need to be careful how I let these 2 flow together. So let's go in. Ooh, let's go in with some yellow. But you can use these in a lot of different ways, not just the way that I'm doing it here, which is literally just putting them on and spraying them out and just letting them, you know, mold and mix and become one. And see how wet the page is. See how I'm really getting some movement now. And I could do the smash thing too, but I don't want to. Sorry about if I go out of camera there, but. So I'm just letting them drip down. Let's drip a little bit the other way. And I will dry in between. Like right now, I'm going to give it a good dry. And then I'm going to go on and put more color on top of them. And as you see, you can make the paint move also with your heat gun. You don't have to use a heat gun. Just happens to be what I have on my desk. You could definitely use a blow dryer. I really like these high flows. I just think they're so much fun. I did get a little bit of brown going on right there where the green and the pink mix together, but that's okay. I'm just going to pat it out just a little bit and add more color on top. So that's basically dry, but not completely. Oh, I should try that orange. Best of both worlds, Dancing with the Stars and me. That's cool. You people are so funny. I have been so fatigued the last couple days. Some of you might know I have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, so I have been just not happy the last few days. My body just doesn't want to play at all. Now I know this one's new, so I'm opening it up and getting the cap off of it, because these were the two new ones I just bought the other day. I really like these fluorescent colors. I don't know why. Hello, Donna. I just think these fluorescent colors are so much fun. Again, I'm just going to squirt, let it move. And you don't have to. You could just let it move like that, or you could pick it up. Even it's showing up red on the camera, but it's really a fluorescent orange. I'm just knocking the color down. I'm going to get this orange down here too. I think I need some more pink over here. See what I mean? You'll never get the same thing twice, but it's just so much fun to play with. Because there is no, you can't screw it up really unless you really get too much mud going. That'd be the only way that you could screw this up. And, you know, I've taught you guys all how to use your color wheel, so, you know, just pay attention to your color wheel and you'll probably do okay. Oh, look what that's doing. Okay, I think I'm going to let that stop right there. And if you get too much water on it, what I've done, like there's a lot of water right there in the center, I've just gone in and soaked it up to soak up some of that extra paint. I know, isn't this just fun already? I mean, it's just fun colors. So I'm just soaking up the leftover paint that's just too much here, too much water. And you don't have to do this. You could let this dry and it'd be perfectly fine. I love the neons. They're not showing up as well on camera as they are here. But, oh, just way fun. So, doing a quick dry again. Okay, while that's drying, what I wanted to do next on my page is I wanted to use this stamp. You know, I screwed up and I took the label off the stamp and I have no idea who it is. I think it's Stampotique, but I'm not positive. So I'm being honest. I don't know who it is. And I'm going to use Indian ink to stamp her, and I'm stamping her on tissue. Last week we did that paint over technique with the tissue, with the napkins. And remember I told you I kept that part of the napkin we pulled away? Well, this is the part we pulled away. So I'm actually keeping it, and I'm going to stamp onto it tonight. So I actually did not waste it at all. I just think the stamp is so pretty. Okay, perfect. Now, cutting that out would be like almost impossible to do. It would just be really difficult. So the easiest way to deal with an image that you stamped onto tissue paper and you want to, you know, cut it out. That line has, I just got a question of approximately how many, there are 6 across and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 down plus 1. So, hi Robin, hi Mark. So approximately 60 some odd colors. I always say I'm too pretty for maps, so there's my excuse. What I'm doing is I'm taking a paintbrush and I'm getting it just a little bit wet. Yeah, it is a great size. I like that about it too. And what I'm doing is I'm using the wet paintbrush to go around my image, and that allows me to pull away the tissue paper from the image without cutting her out. See what I'm saying? So it's a cheating way of fussy cutting her out without fussy cutting her out. So I'm just getting the tissue paper wet, and then I'll start pulling it away. So super easy to do. Oh, except for I ripped it right down there, but that's okay. Just in case I messed up on camera, I actually had one already done for myself. So you see there that I just took a little bit of paper, excuse me, a little bit of water, and I went around her to get her to come out. Now I did do one for myself in case I ripped it, because I did a tiny little rip right there in the corner. Oh well, no big deal. So I've got her image done. I'm going to paint her. I'm going to first put her on my background here. I'll zoom out for you. So there's our background. So I already got an awesome background going without even trying. I think I'm going to put her there. Now a good tip on design is I have a face, and the face is looking a particular way. So I would not put her here, because what that's going to do to you as the viewer of my art, you're going to look where she's going to look. So you're going to look that way. Well, that's not what I want my people to look at when they look at my art. I want them to see everything. So that's why I'm going to put her over here, because she's looking this way, and it allows you, the viewer, to see the whole page. So that's my tip on if you're using an image that has it's facing a certain way. Are there any questions while I am going to glue her down? Now, just like last week, and remember to please put your questions in bold. This is a Bloom Girl? Okay, thank you. I thought it was a Prima stamp, but I swear I looked on Prima's in their catalog and it was not there. But maybe I'm wrong. I claim, you know, I'm human. I am going to glue down my napkin with PPA matte. This is pretty much the only adhesive. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. The stamp's name is Sophie, and it's a Bloom Girl, and it's a Prima stamp. I am using PPA matte to glue down my tissue paper. We talked about this last week. Whenever I am using tissue, I always use PPA matte. It's a really gentle adhesive, that just works very well for putting down napkins and doesn't cause me any problems. So I'm going to glue her, lay her down, and when I continue to glue, when I go over her, I don't know why this is so sticky. I think I might need to clean my, come out of there. Whenever I glue on top, I start from the center and I work my way out very gently because this is a napkin. It is very fragile. And because I didn't cut around the edges, it's really going to look like it's part of the background. It'll blend in really nicely there. Sorry, I didn't realize you were a little out of camera. So I'm ever gently going from the center of my image out to my edge and gluing her down. And she is blending in pretty much in the background here, but I'm going to color her, which will help bring her out, I think. If not, guess what? I made a mistake. But that's okay. There we go. So she's really adhered down. See how well that adheres down? Okay. I love Titan Buff from Golden for my faces. So I am going to grab just a tiny bit of that. And when you use high quality paints, and Golden and US Art Quest have probably the best high quality paints. You need very little paint with them. So if you are able to buy high quality paints, those two are usually the best because you're going to get the best quality out of them. So I'm just going to go in and start painting her face. And I'm not going to hit every single spot. I'm actually going to let the background kind of come through a little, because what it's going to do is give me the all the texture and stuff for me. Yes, you can use PPA on paper towels. So paper towels or napkins, anything. PPA is basically a perfect paper adhesive, is the name of it. PPA, that's what PPA stands for. And the reason I like it so much on, say, napkins is because it's so gentle. So anything that's really gentle will work well, except for it is a great adhesive even for just strictly, you know, paper, because it is perfect paper adhesive. So there's her face painted in. And as you see, I'm still allowed, it is kind of expensive, I agree. I will not deny that. But again, you need very little of it. And honestly, I don't use it because it is expensive. I don't use it for every single thing I adhere. I just strictly use it for, say, like, you know, my napkins, because I know it's not going to tear a napkin, and I can get the, you know, like we did last week with this technique. I know I'm going to get a beautiful napkin. You know, it's going to lay down. It's not going to rip. It's not, I mean, I didn't get one rip in that. I didn't get any bubbles in there. It just lays down really, really nicely. I'm going in now with, because I got to make her a redhead, of course. So I am coloring in her hair. And I like to use transparent paints when I do this. You could definitely go in with even watercolors, which was my original thought, but I guess I changed my mind. But I like to use, my whole point of the conversation was I like to use transparent type paints so that I get the stamp image still coming through. And I'm not going to paint this whole thing because I know that'd be boring to watch. But I wanted to at least get you the idea of what she would look like once I get her all painted in. And I didn't even really let my glue dry before I started painting, but that's okay. So I'm just painting in around her face here, and where her hair is, and where trying to find where her hair is and where flowers are. So that's a flower right there. That's a flower. So this would be a great place where the markers would come in really nicely, because you could get into those smaller areas with the markers. This is all hair. But glad to say that all the fires are out for you guys who are following all the fires in San Diego. There's still one burning, but it's like, you know, it's under control. We lost a lot of houses. Yes, Karen, I agree. But remember, it'll last you a really long time. Don't use it for everything. You know, use it sparingly. As far as Karen's commenting that she really wants to try the napkin thing, so she's going to buy the PPA. And I, you know, like I said earlier, it will work a lot better for you, and you'll just get a better result in the long run. Oh, look how pretty she is. So I would continue to color her in with either paints or I originally got out some mica paints, which is actually something that's also a US Art Quest product. And these last a really long time also. They don't even have this one anymore, this particular palette. I think they call it something different now. This is how long I've had these colors. These little tubs of watercolors last forever. And basically they're just little discs of color, and they're basically watercolor. So you just get them wet like you would watercolor and just start come in and start painting. And they have mica in them, so they have a little bit of a sheen and a shimmer, so that makes them a lot of fun. So I'm just coming in, and again, I'm not going to color it all, but just getting some of the green in here just so you see where the leaves are. Oh, where else do I get it here? Here. And you can either just get the tub wet like that, which is what I've done in the past, or you can get... Yes, I see. Even Danielle just said that she uses napkins a lot, and PPA really is the best for that. And you know, I don't work for US Art Quest or anything like that, so I'm honestly telling you that I really like that product for that reason, and not really for any other reason. Cleaning my brush out, getting some of the red. I'm going to do her lips. And then I would just continue to paint her in until she was done. As you see where I'm going. There's a lot of little flowers there, so I'm not going to bore you with all those little flowers. And I'd probably come in again over her face with a little more of that white and go through it just one more time. Because I'm just getting just a little too much pink right here that's bothering me. So she's starting to stand out a little more. So you might have to go in over it twice, and that could have been for two reasons. One, I was using wet. There was still wet PPA when I started painting, which I shouldn't have. Normally I wait till it dries, but I didn't. So isn't she turning out pretty? Okay, have this stamp I want to use. Now, I'm planning on next week talking to you guys about carving your own stamps. This is one that I've carved, so I actually wanted to do it tonight, but I couldn't find my carving thing, so I have to look for it. I've done some reorganizing in my studio, and for some reason I can't figure out where I put that. So I'm using StazOn. This is their new Orange Zest, and this is a stamp that I carved quite a while ago. So I'm just putting some background designs on. Like that. I also have this stamp, I believe this, yeah, Stamp Potique. This is a 4-sided stamp. I'm going to use this side right here, and I'm just going to use part of the image as a cool, yeah, I really like US watercolors too, to be honest. I'm just using this as a border. Thank you, Danielle. You're gonna, I heard you just got these high flows. You're gonna absolutely love them. They are so addicting once you start playing with them. So I am just going along and making a really cool border with this half a stamp here. Let me show you that up close. See what I did? Isn't that cool? So I'm using half the stamp to get that cool border going around my edge. So really, I guess my point with this technique right here is really look at your stamps in different ways. You don't have to use the whole image to get something really cool out of it. And just using that half image, it almost looks like lace. But it's not. It's a, you know, a totally different stamp that I'm just using it in a different way. I am still using the journal I'm using. I'm still madly in love with, I have to admit. And it is the Cotton Wood Arts Art Journal. And right now, they have them at Dick Blick's for 30% off. I hope they're still on sale. But I would highly recommend them. Their pages are very thick. I'm not having a warping problem with them. I have never had a page bleed through yet. And I have had that problem with other journals, sad to say. And I think that's just horrible that a journal bleeds through, because we do beautiful work in our journals, and the last thing I need is my page ruined because it bled through. I'm lucky. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Glad you're liking the page. Can you make your own stencils without vellum? Hold on, I'm reading good night, Vanessa. Can you make your own stencils without vellum? Actually, I don't use vellum when I make stencils. I actually use transparencies. Oh, good. Good, Karen. The question was, can you make your own stencils without vellum? I don't use vellum when I make my own stencils. I actually use transparencies that you can get at the office supply store. And you can buy the really cheap ones. You could also take magazines, and you can cut out an image in a magazine and use as a stencil. Let me show you what that looks like. But when I do that, I always use like packing tape over it. Excuse me while I do this. Here it is. Here's one. Here's just made a mess, but that's okay. Here's a stencil that I made out of a magazine. You can actually see the cheese, you know, from a magazine. And what I did, I'll answer that question in just a second, Danielle. What I did is I cut her. Actually, I took clear adhesive spray and I sprayed on the magazine. Then I took a transparency from the office supply store and I put it over top of it. Then I cut out the image. There is a whole class on how to do these stencils. Maybe we'll do that again next week. Question is, which brand of journals do I like the most? I like these. This is from, this is the journal I like, and it's from Cottonwood Arts. I know that's hard to see, but it actually says that right there, Cottonwood Arts, cottonwoodarts.com. Without vellum. She wants to know if you can make stencils without vellum. I'm not sure if I'm answering that question or not, but I don't use vellum, so I'm not sure how to answer that question. We'll make stencils next week for sure. But the art journal is Cottonwood Arts. You can get it at Dick Blick's. You're welcome. What I like about it is it lays flat. So your pages lay flat, as you see. See that? The pages are very, very thick. Now you see I have a little bit of a warp right there on that page, but that's because this page is still very wet, and as it dries, it will flatten out a little more for me. So here's all the other pages. See how flat they are? And they're very, very thick. I do like my Strathmore, and the only thing that I can say I don't like about the Strathmore is it does have that spiral in it, and I do like my pages to flow as one page. Okay, I'm going to use this stamp right here. But I do like the Strathmore ones also. If you are using the Strathmores, make sure you get the ones that's for mixed media art. And it is 140-pound weight paper. And yes, I agree, Robin, that vellum would absorb ink and not lay flat for you, so I wouldn't use vellum either. So I am grabbing a quote stamp, and I will give you the quote here in a second. This stamp is from Versa. And it is, no, excuse me, Versus. I always say that. Versa is another company. Versus, and it's versusrubberstamps.com. And the stamp said, art is emotional dancing from the heart of one to the eye of another. I'm pretty sure that vellum is not going to work with stencils because it's going to cause you problems. Wow, you can't see that. That's totally not showing. It's honest to God, it's on here. But it's not showing on there at all. It looks like it's half stamped. I don't know what to tell you. But it shows up really well on my page. What's the page that you showed with the cherries on it? This page right here. This page I did while I was back east at the US Art Quest personal studio, matter of fact, of Susan's personal studio. This is all US Art Quest paints, and I hand painted the what was the page that's shown with the cherries on it? This is just a page that I actually just painted by hand. The cherries are painted by hand also. I used all US Art Quest paints on there. That's just a stamp across the bottom. And just a simple page, nothing too fancy actually. So back to tonight's page. Again, you can't see that quote, but I swear it's there. I think it's the color of the paint behind it isn't showing up on the camera. Oh, you can kind of see it there. So I put that quote up there, and I think I want to do some flowers. Hold on here. This is a really pretty flower stamp from Sin City Stamps, and that's sincitystamps.com. And I'm just grabbing some black paint or black ink. I think I want to do a couple different colors. Thank you. So I'm just stamping this. Oh, I'm cleaning my stamp off in between, and I want to get in some different colors. This is just a really pretty flower stamp from sincitystamps.com. The page just needed a little more, so I'm going to throw these stamps on, and then I'm done. You don't have the... Yes, you can use the fluid medium to get the same basically idea that I did tonight. The high flows just work really nicely, and they're a lot of fun. So, and it's a lot of fun to try something new. So that's why I like the high flow. And they're actually, you can get them on sale. Dick Blick's had them a couple weeks ago for 30% off. So you can find them on sale here and there. So I just added the flowers there. And then I'm going to go in with my paintbrush, and I would paint them with the mica paints that I actually have out, so just to let those flowers stand out a little more. Oop, what color did I just use? I think it was that one. Don't you love when you do that? It's like, what color paint did I just use? And I would just keep going around coloring in these flowers just to make them stand out a little more. Because see, once I paint that in, it's starting to stand out. I'm getting a lot of glare from this light right here. There we go, a little better. Yeah, I bet you do wish Dick Blick's was there. But I'm sure there's another company over there that carries the high flows. If not, Michelle, you should carry them for the Australia area. And that was so cool that you met Joy the other day. It's a very small world. Michelle and I met at CHA, and she lives in Australia. And about a month and a half ago, Joy came from Australia to San Diego, and we met and had lunch and went to Dick Blick's and just hung out for the day. Well, Michelle and Joy met each other last week at an event. I can't remember what the event was, so I apologize for that. And they both were talking about me. Isn't that just way too funny? What a small world it is. Oh, it's amazing. The dancers of you are so much fun. Thank you. It's a tie between me and Dancing with the Stars, I guess. I'm moving up in the world. So I'm just real quickly painting these flowers in with the mica paints from US Art Quest. Yeah, but yeah, I would look. I'm sure you could find those high flows somewhere over there. God, I would hope. If not, that would be depressing. Oh, let me paint this last one purple. And these mica paints, the watercolors from US Art Quest, have a little bit of a shimmer to them. So that makes them kind of fun, too. And they're super easy to color with because they're just watercolor. Again, just getting it wet and paint. These are great to take with you traveling because they store pretty quickly and easy. I've definitely taken these on, like if I've gone traveling and I wanted to be able to paint while I'm there, which is usually almost always. I want to be able to do some type of art when I'm traveling. Just coloring in the center of those flowers. Poof. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Has anybody got any questions over there? I'm going to refresh over here. No Dick Blix in England either. Hi, Carol. Nice to meet you. So I'm checking to see if no Dick Blix over there. So you guys have got to have something that's similar to Dick Blix, I would think. Thank you, Carol. For you guys who are just joining me, if you're new to this, I do this every Tuesday night. You can join my group in Facebook called All Things Terry Sproul. And in the top, I have a file that has a lot of all these techniques in there, so you can go back and do the other ones. We've been doing this for a while, so we're pretty advanced on what we're doing. If you're brand new to art journaling, go back to like the number 1 through 5 or so. Those will really give you some real basic, simple techniques to get you started, and you don't have to worry about being so, you know, if you think this is very advanced or whatever. But I'm pretty happy with my page. I'm going to continue coloring her in, probably with the watercolors because they're just so pretty. And then I will post this on Facebook. And if nobody else has any more questions, I will let you guys go. I'll give you a few more minutes to see if anybody comes up with a question. Oh, wait a minute. I want yellow. Anybody have any questions? Danielle, did I answer all your questions? Because you told me you were going to have lots of questions regarding these high flows. So I'm hoping I got them all. I'm just coloring in the girl, the flower over here, while I'm giving, because it does take a few minutes for the questions to actually show up over here, so I always give it a few minutes. So while you guys are getting your last questions up, I'm just continue flowing. Night, night. Good night, Karen. Okay, and it looks like we don't have any questions, and I'm just continue painting my flowers here. Yes, I will post the finished page once it's done on Facebook. Good night, Tether. And I will see you guys all on Facebook. If you have any questions that I missed, a lot of them are coming through. I did answer them all. Good, good. I knew because Danielle said earlier, she goes, I have lots of questions. I'm going to be watching for them. So I'm glad I got them all for you. I think you're going to love them, so go play with them. You can't do the same thing twice, though. That's the only bad part. Hey, you got Michelle, you got somebody who's willing to shop for you and send them to you. There you go. Yes, next time you're in town, Michelle, we'll have to go and just go shopping. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Again, if you have any questions that I missed, you're welcome to catch me over on Facebook, or you can put them in my group called All Things Terry Sproul. Oh, and you can order the Bloom Girls. You might want to put your link up if you want to sell that. Good night, Terry Sue. I'm going to be up in teaching up in Prima in July. I will let you know, so maybe you can come take a class with me. Okay, guys, I am going to let you go, and we will talk again next Tuesday. any questions. Sorry about that glare. Catch me on Facebook. Good night, guys. Thanks again. Appreciate you guys showing up. Bye.